Greetings, salutations, respect, and love. I am Scott, and you, my dear friends, are in the Prog Corner, where today we're going to be investigating the fourth album from the band The Fierce and the Dead. Oh man, this is a band I've been knowing about for a long, long time. Way before Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff, there was this platform called MySpace, and the boys in the band, Matt Stevens and a couple of his friends, were working on a solo album for Matt. Now this is weird because most bands, don't start from a solo project. It's usually the other way around, right? A band spawns solo projects. Solo projects don't spawn bands. Well, in 2010, The Fierce and the Dead dropped a 19-minute song on MySpace called Part 1, and it was incredible. Yeah, I was all over MySpace. MySpace was great back in the day, man. It was great for bands. You could not only, promote a tour, but you could actually book the tour right there on MySpace, contacting promoters or club owners, and then you could promote that tour, interacting with fans, promoting videos and music. It was just the best platform for bands. And so that's how they got their start. Matt Stevens is joined by Kevin Feasey and Stuart Marshall. After their first album came out in 2011, which was called If It Carries On Like This, We Are Moving to Morricambe. I don't know what Morricambe is. These guys are British, so who knows? After that album came out, they added their touring member, Steve Cleaton, to the band, so they are a four-piece. Spooky Action was their second album in 2013. I love that thing. And then in 2018, The Euphoric came out, and then the pandemic hit, so the boys in the band were not able to tour, and The Euphoric was such a great record. I know that had to take the wind out of their sails. And then Matt Stevens gets diagnosed with cancer. He is recovered. Apparently he's cancer-free, and that is really, really good news. Matt actually contacted me like 2 months ago, right after I had done my best instrumental prog albums episode. And I was feeling real guilty because I almost put Spooky Action in there and I left it off. And then like the very next day, Matt Stevens hits me up. He's like, I got a brand new album, but don't tell anybody about it. There's a big secret going on. And I'm glad he told me what it was, because if I wouldn't have known this was The Fierce and the Dead, I would have thought that maybe he had sent me the wrong files. Because what in the world's going on here? This album's got vocals on it, man. After 3 albums of pure instrumental, post-rock, math rock, this band has completely changed course, man. They've got the same 4 guys in the band, but they've got vocals on all these tracks. Well, the new album's got 8 tracks. 7 of them have lyrics. The 8th one's got, some vocalization, some vocoder stuff. But, it's got vocals all over this thing. So they didn't just like dip their toe into the vocal pool. They went all in, whole hog. And if you think about it, the whole idea, the whole intention behind making music, whether it's instrumental or whether it's got lyrics, I'm sorry, it's a completely different animal. The whole idea of writing a song based on lyrics and a concept and a chorus, kind of an anathema to post-rock and instrumental rock music in general. So how did these guys fare? Turn in this major corner. It makes me think of the Enid back in the 70s. Their first 4 albums were all instrumental, and then they put vocals on their 5th album, and it was terrible. Are we going to experience the same thing here? I don't know, man. I've been reading a lot of the fans' reactions have been actually very, very positive to this change. And I believe the reason is twofold. One, The Fierce and the Dead are definitely a band that always felt like vocals could have added something to their music. And second of all, they didn't hire a singer, man. Kevin Feasey, the bass player, provides the vocals, so they didn't outsource this, and I think that's why a lot of fans are so receptive. Now, these guys are categorized on Prog Archives as math rock, post-rock, something like that. So yeah, you do hear some of those flavors, but honestly, a lot of the guitar, Frippian guitar figures of yesteryear are kind of sanded down here. In its place, we're getting more of the Smashing Pumpkins, Flaming Lips, Mercury Rev, MGMT, LCD Sound System. I'm hearing all that kind of stuff in here. This album is so great because it does add a few extra flavors because they've always had the space rock and the post rock and the math rock and the shoegaze and the prog rock and the metal. Now we got a lot more psych in here, and it's really exciting to hear what this band's take on prog rock songwriting is all about. Yeah, this album starts out so good, man. The first song just grips me. I was so excited when I turned this thing on. It starts with like a sequenced keyboard heartbeat kind of thing, and then you get this two-note little figure that creates a whole chord progression that is just built up and built up as the vocals come in, and slowly the drums get that martial roll going on, and then pop, 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 and then the whole band comes in, man, and they're doing that chord progression with guitars and drums and bass, and the vocals going crazy with all these backing vocals. It's just incredible. 3 minutes, man. This might be my favorite song of the year. I just absolutely adore it. What a way to start an album, man. Then you get into the second song, Shake the Jar. Clocks in at 5.5 minutes, and it's got a kind of a stoner rock feel. You know, when these guys get down into that sludgy stoner rock kind of feel, it does make me feel like Motorcycle a little bit, maybe, and You Will Know Us by the Trail of Dead a little bit. You get some great atmospherics towards the end, and you think the song's over. No, it's got a false ending, goes back into the riff. It's awesome. Next up is Golden Thread. This one here is 6 minutes and 46 minutes long. It starts with an incredible metal riff. It's just awesome, man. These guys aren't using drop D. They want it to be really heavy. They're in drop C, boys and girls. It just is so gnarly and awesome. Second guitar comes in, playing some really cool stuff in the background. And then it comes down to this weird psych kind of thing, totally making me think of Tame Impala or Unknown Mortal Orchestra with the heavy reverbs on the vocals. It's really great. I love this track. Next up is one of the songs that was released as a single called Photogenic Love. It's 5 minutes and 18 seconds, and it definitely's got a chill wave or shoegaze kind of feel, maybe like Slow Dive or Low, something like that. Very atmospheric, and the backing music, the chorus is real strong on this. Lots of great use of keys. I guess the band is employing a couple of guest keyboard players as well as lots of guest vocalists. A really good song. Next up is another song that was released as a single. It's called Wonderful, and this is another short track. Comes in at like 3 minutes and 4 seconds, something like that, and it opens with this real frenetic bass line that totally makes me think of Muse, but it's real up-tempo, so when the horns come in, it kind of makes me think of Cardiacs. Oh man, that saxophone in this song is great, provided by Terry Edwards. He didn't appear on their third album, The Euphoric, but he was on their first 2 albums. Great sound and stuff, man. It's very up-tempo and very awesome. I love this track. Next up is a song called Non-Player, 6 minutes, 41 seconds. And it's a very brooding piece. It's got a real cool vibe going on. And then when you least expect it, they add 2 beats. Like every 8 measures of 4. The 8th one is actually 6 beats. It's a cool trick. I really like it. There's some glass-like arpeggiated guitar pluck in there. That sounds really good. You get kind of a traditional chorus, but the drum sound here is just great. And again, when that sax kicks in, you're getting all kinds of really cool jazzy vibes on this track. I love it. The penultimate track is called What a Time to Be Alive, 4 minutes, 45 seconds. And it is an instrumental. There are some, vocalizations in the song, but primarily this is a sludgy party rock song. I mean, it's just awesome. You got a spacey part going on here, and Kevin's bass line is the main theme. If you're paying close attention, you'll pick that up. It's really cool. This is probably the song that is the most traditionally like the Fierce and the Dead's back catalog, and it's a really great song. Leads you into the final track, 6 minutes and 48 seconds. It's called Nostalgia Now. Very slow piece with a really emotive guitar figure. It's real atmospheric and slow, so it's definitely making me feel like maybe elbow a little bit, and Kevin Feezy's vocals are not too far removed from Guy Garvey's, so I'm getting a real strong elbow vibe there. And then you get, if you're listening, you hear a melody, but the sludgy guitar comes in, picks that up towards the end of the song with some sprinkling pianos, and you got a heavy duty reverb guitar solo near the end. And then the minor key melancholy just kind of takes you home and the album's over. Really fun record, man. It's only 8 songs, like 42 minutes long, so you can breeze through this thing without a whole lot of effort. What is my score going to be on this bad boy? Well, I really enjoyed it. I just kind of wish that the whole record was like that first song, man, because that thing just blew my mind. But there's a lot of really cool stuff on here. So I'm going to give this 4 out of 5 headphones, edging towards 4.5, not quite there. Really cool. I mean, for a band to change their sound, to just change on a dime like that, man, there's no growing pains. It really feels like this was extremely well thought out. I can't imagine that they could do this a whole lot better. It's just awesome. And so yeah, Fierce and the Dead, great band. Matt Stevens, incredible guitar player. If you don't know that band, you definitely need to check them out. They're not capital P Prog, but hey, they've got the Andy Tillison stamp of approval, and that's good enough for me. So 4 out of 5 headphones on this bad boy. And anyway, we'll see what we're doing tomorrow. I have absolutely no idea. I'll come up with something. You know how we do. But in the meantime, boys and girls, peace in the Middle East, free Tibet, and God save the king. And Rishi Sunak too. Why not? You know, I guess he's the prime minister. Nobody's ever heard of him. So yeah, bless you too, Rishi. Peace.